Hey guys, Mike with Any Car Log here. Today I've got a garage for a few days, so we're going to be working on the distributor cap and rotor for the Blazer. It's got a rough idle, or actually not a rough idle, it runs rough throughout the different RPMs when it's wet, and then sometimes just randomly, but when it warms up it typically goes away. So there's also a vent to check to make sure the vent of the distributor is not blocked up so that air can flow through there and let the moisture out. So we're going to replace the cap and rotor, and then we're going to check that vent, and I will show you guys when I get it off. Basically there's two torx bolts holding the distributor cap on. You just got to disconnect the wires, remove those two screws, and then there's two smaller torx bits, I believe, that hold the rotor onto the distributor. So when I get them off, I will zoom in and let you see what's in there. All right, guys. All right, guys. We just removed the cap and rotor off of the 4.3 in my S10 Blazer. One thing that was useful was I had just bought this toolkit. It's a 1/4-inch drive toolkit. I got off of Amazon. It was, I think, 30 bucks. It's nice because it's nice and small and compact. I can keep it underneath the seat. I've already got 3/8 drive socket set in there, so I want something small. But this came with a bunch of torx bits. The cap itself is held on with a T20 torx bit, and the rotor is held on with a T15 torx bit. I used the T15 on both of them. It worked because they weren't too tight. One thing to remember is that these distributors, some of them are made out of plastic, the base, so when you're tightening on the new cap, do not over tighten the cap. You will break the distributor and cause yourself a lot of hassle. So on these motors, the cylinders are on the front right is 1, then 3 and 5. On the drive passenger side it is 2, 4 and 6. The distributor cap on these is set up so that the wires go off to each bank, and on the left side it is in the proper order of 2, 4, 6, but on the driver's side the caps are usually marked. This side it is 3, 1 and 5, so it's a little bit off on this side, so just make sure when you're pulling the wires off you know which one goes where. If you need to, take a marker and write on them which number they are according to the cap, but if you have to trace them back, just remember it's 3, 1, 5, and then this one's 2, 4, 6, and then this one back here is the coil where the coil connects. So it came off pretty easily. There was a bunch of garbage in the distributor, some I don't know, material in there, so I vacuumed it out and cleaned it. I just want to show you the parts. So typically I try to run AcDelco parts. This case I had a gift card to AutoZone, so I just picked up the Duralast Gold cap and rotor set, and I just want to show you the difference between the old one and the new one. Alright guys, so I'm not sure how much the camera's going to pick this up, but this is the old parts. I got the flashlight. These are the old parts, and you can't really see it, I doubt, on the camera, but the contacts are a bit burnt and oxidized, so I think that's part of the problem. The rotor actually appears to be okay, but you can see that this rotor's actually, the tip is held in place with that black clip, versus the one over here, which is basically, I think, plastic riveted or plastic welded in place. And then up here, I don't know if you can pick that up, all those contacts are goldish color, so I believe they're brass. And the weight of the Duralast Gold, cap is significantly heavier than the one that I took off this truck. I was told when this vehicle, I bought it a year ago, that it had new wires and plugs, and I believe he said cap and rotor, but I don't know. But this one is much lighter than the Duralast Gold. The plastic itself seems much thinner on this than that one, and obviously it's got brass versus this just bare steel. So I'm not sure, we'll see. I have this same exact Duralast Gold setup in my Sonoma, and it's been going a year without any issues, so only time will tell to see if it's worth going with the Duralast Gold or if the AcDelcos are typically better. I'm not sure. I haven't used an AcDelco one yet. So next time one fails, I'll try out an AcDelco. But this one seems to be pretty cheap over here. So down in there is the distributor. And so that main housing is actually plastic, and the part of the distributor that spins where the cap rotor connects is the part of the distributor where the rotor connects is actually metal. So you don't really need to worry too much about stripping those screws, but it's the housing you need to look out for. So I'm going to get the new cap and rotor installed and go take it for a test drive, and then I'll report back to see if that resolved the issue of it running rough. Alright guys, as you can see, the truck is now wet. I took it up for a drive with the new cap and rotor installed, and the entire way here to where I was sitting, it was running rough, and took it out for a 20+ minute drive. No issues, no rough driving. It ran nice and smooth. So I think that's the issue. That was the issue, but the real test will be when it's outside for overnight and it rains or something, like really cold temperatures. We'll see how it does. There's still like a cold start issue maybe, but at least if the rough, at least if the engine's running smooth. If it's hard to start, that's a different issue. But the engine's running smooth now, so that's all that matters. So be sure to check out some of my other videos. Hit the thumbs up if you like this video, and feel free to subscribe if you want to see my future videos. Also be sure to check the description down below. If over time I get any updates to the situation, I'll update it in the description, as well as probably put a comment up, and then also my future videos may talk about it as well. So be sure to subscribe, and hopefully you like the content. Have a good one. Thanks.